What is 3 divided by itself?
Whoa! Keenumbers.
Welcome to the Keenumbers Math channel. We're going to talk about dividing a number by itself, as long as that number's not 0. Now, 4 over 4, 4 quarters. That's what we're talking about here. 4 quarters. I'm going to claim to you that that's a big whopping 1. Hey, look at that. 4 quarters is equal to 1. Meh, say meh. But what if it is 5 over 5? What about 5 over 5? Meh. 5 over 5. I'm gonna claim to you, that's 1. Hey, look at that. This is 1. This is, yes, very good. What about 6 over 6? What is that going to be equal to? I'm going to claim it's 1. Can we see that? Can we see that in real time? 6 sixths. You got it. Here we have the 6 sixths. And that is 1. Starting to notice a pattern here, Shay. What about you? What about 8 eighths? Can you see a pattern here? What's that going to be? You bet. It's the same thing as 1. Starting to think that any number divided by itself is 1. Proof time with your host, Old Man Keenum. Warning, this is a mega ultra advanced segment. If a non-zero number A is divided by itself, A, and the answer is another number, call it B. That means by the definition of division, that A is equal to the product of A times B. So, when you subtract, you will see that A times the binomial, 1 minus B, becomes 0. And since A is not 0, that means 1 minus B is 0, or B is equal to 1. Thanks, Old Man Keenum. Ha! I'm regular Keenum. What he said at super ultra mega speed is if you have any number other than 0 and you divide it by itself, you always get 1. You heard it from Old Man Keenum. Any number other than 0 divided by itself, hey, that's just gonna be uno. So 10 tenths is 1. So if you're in the wild and you see 100 100ths, you can think about this as 100 pennies. What's that equal to? $1. Old Man Keenum said it. You divide a number by itself and you get 1, as long as that number's not 0. If you have 2 and you divide it by 2, Old Man Keenum said it. Any number divided by itself is 1. Too easy. What if you have 7 divided by 7 and you just run into that into the wild? 7 sevenths, that's just 1. Don't get scared. If you have learned something, don't subscribe. We don't need any more subscribers. Oh! But don't go anywhere. We have more for you. And there's even a bonus content section if you're part of the Greater Gators class. Thanks for watching. May the Almighty bless you with even more and more math knowledge. We'll see you next time. Bye. I just ran into 11 11s in the wild. And look, 11. There's no 0. It's 11. So if you divide it by itself, you're always going to get 1. Yeah, that's it. 11 11s. 1. Any number that's not 0 divided by itself is 1. So even if it's -4, what? Negative numbers. Down to negative infinity. We're counting down to negative infinity. Stop. You better review negative numbers if you need to. That is linked below. Ooh, this looks kind of scary. If you run into 3 and you're dividing it by 3 times 7, wait a second, 3 times 7, that's just 21. So if you run into 3 over 21 in the wild, don't get scared. The same concept applies here. 3 divided by itself, it's not 0, you're good to go. This is just 1. So you're gonna be left with 1 over 7. That's your answer. Whoa, that was scary, but don't panic. We're gonna do more in the bonus section.
Keenumbers.
If a non-zero number A is divided by itself, A, then the answer is another number, call it B. That means by the definition of division, that A is equal to the product of A times B. So, when you subtract, you will see that A times the binomial, 1 minus B, becomes 0. And since A is not 0, that means 1 minus B is 0, or B is equal to 1. We have 3/6 of a pizza slice. Why do I know it's 3/6? Because look, we have 6 slices of pizza. And 1, 2, 3 gives us 3/6. Hezzy says it's 1/2. That's correct. It reduces to 1/2 because look, yeah, Oh, let's try that again. Yeah! When you cut it in half, boom! You get 3 slices or half of a pizza.
Keenumbers.
Hey, wait a second here. I think I know what's going on. 4/8. That's the same thing as 1/2. Look at that, because you can go, yeah, and cut it into 2 halves, 2 equal piles. This is 1/2 of the original 2x4 block. So 4/8 is equal to 1/2. You'll notice here the greatest common factor is GCF is 4. Definition time. The greatest common factor is the largest integer between a pair of numbers that evenly divides into both numbers. In other words, when you have 2 numbers, find the biggest number that you can divide both numbers by. Boom! That's the greatest common factor. Can we simplify 3/12? Absolutely. Look at that. Compared to 1, it's little. Hey, T-Rex. Now, 3/12 simplifies very nicely. Is it 1/3? No, 1/3 is too big. Could it be 1/5? No, 1/5 is too small. Hezzy Man says it's a quarter. He's correct. 3/12 simplifies as 1/4. Very good, Hezzy. Yes, very good. I need 2/3 of a pie. I only have 4/6 of a pie. They're the same thing. What about 4/12? Can we simplify? Oh, it's the greater gator. What about 4/12? Can we simplify? He's eating the 1 because it's bigger than 4/12. Now, 4/12 does simplify. Is it 1/4? No. 1/4 is too small. Is it 1/3? Ding, 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 ding. 4/12 simplifies. It's 1/3. Yeah. This episode is brought to you by snacks. Don't leave home without them. Is 8/10 3/5? No. How do I know to use fifths? Well, we'll talk about that in a second. But check this out. Ha 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 ha. 8/10 is the same thing as 4/5. So we get to simplify by reducing 8/10 to 4/5. Now, how did we come up with this reduction here? Well, we'll talk about this. The greatest common factor of 8 and 10 is the biggest number that divides both 8 and 10. Well, what do you know? It's 2. And that's how you get the 4/5, because there are 2 4s in 8. Whoop. And check this out. There are 2 5s in 10. Shay. We'll look at some additional examples. Don't get scared. Whoa! And remember, if you take any number other than 0 and you divide it by itself, you get 1. Stop right now. Stop this video and go watch the one link below if this is a new one for you. Let's simplify 14 over 21. Well, the good news is that the greatest common factor of both 14 and 21 is 7. Woohoo! Why is it 7? Oh, this is not hard. 14 is 2 7s, and 21, how many 7s? You bet, 3 7s. Yeah. So the biggest number that divides both 14 and 21 is 7. And that's why we can reduce this. Oh, I see. Remember, this is the key right here, lads and lasses. We have 14 is 7 2s and 7 3s. And you'll remember that anytime you divide a number by itself, that is just 1. So you cross it out. That's how you get your 2/3. 14 divided by 21 is 2/3. Pause, rewind if you need to. Let's try another one. I need half of a pie. Well, I already ate 2/4 of the pie. 2/4 and 1/2 are the same thing. Thank you. Let's simplify 25 30ths. Whew, this looks scary, but don't worry. 25 is, well, what's the greatest common factor of 25 and 30? The GCF of 25 and 30. That's gonna be, I bet you can see it, it's 5. Because we have 5 5s in 25. And we have 5 6s in 30. That is our GCF. So we are going to put this up here. We have 5 5s in 25. And we have 5 6s in 30. And any number divided by itself is just 1. So we are left with 5 6. That is our answer. Yeah.
Keenumbers.
Whoa, this looks scary. What if we have -3 and we divide it by -9 and we're in the wild? Oh, don't worry. This is just -3 divided by, well, what?
Keenumbers.
1 toy brick. 10 toy bricks. 100 toy bricks. 1,000 toy bricks. 10,000 blocks, that would be 10 1,000s. Whoa, that's too big. We're talking powers of 10 here. 100,000, that's 1 followed by 5 zeros. That's 10 10,000s, or as the name suggests, 100 thousands, but 1 followed by 6 zeros. 1 million? I'm getting too cramped in here. Whoa, that's better. And now we can look at 10 million or 100 million, which is, as the name suggests, it is 100 millions. But what about if we add 1 more 0 to the end of that? Then we get 1 billion. But I'm getting too cramped in here. We gotta get out of here. What about not 10 billions or 100 billions, but what about 1,000 billions? Oh, that's a trillion! 12 zeros! Wow! But wait, there's more. 1 quadrillion has 15 zeros. Whoa! And if you put 3 more zeros on the end of that, you get 1 quintillion, which has 18 zeros. Oh, Fly. How many donuts do I owe you?
1 nonillion.
That just sounds...
They're the zeros.
That sounds too made up to be real. The whole earth would be covered in donuts. And what about 21 zeros? 1 sextillion. That is a big number. But there's more. Whoa, 24 zeros. That's 1 septillion. And they don't stop. There's more. This number is huge. 27 zeros, that's 1 octillion. But wait, there's more. 1 Google. Not the search engine. This has 100 zeros. This number is huge. But we have even bigger numbers with names. Let me present to you 1 centillion. 1 centillion has 303 zeros. This is the big daddy of numbers. It's huge. But is it the biggest number? Wait, there's more. I present to you the Googleplex. It's so big we can't even fit all the zeros on the screen. What is a Googleplex? Okay, so a Googleplex has a 1 followed by a Google of zeros. It's so big we would never be able to write it. That's how big it is. But is there more? You bet, and you're gonna find out in the bonus section if you're a part of the Greater Gators class that numbers never ever stop.
1,000,000, 6 zeros, Hesse loves a 1,000,000. 1,000,000,000, 9 zeros, greater than 1,000,000. 1,000,000,000, 12 zeros, 1,001 billions. 1 quadrillion, 15 zeros, 1,001 trillions.
Keenumbers.
You're in the bonus section. Thanks for being a part of the Greater.
Let's talk about the half. 1/2 of a coconut. Yeah. What? A half of a pie? You bet. 1/2. That's what that squiggly little 1 and 2 symbol mean. You put 2 halves together, you get the whole pie. Yeah. Now let's talk about half of a tomato. You can squeeze it, you can cut it up and put it on a burger. What about a whole donut? Now, if you wanted to share a donut with 2 people and you only had 1 donut, you could cut it in half. Each person would get 1/2, 1/2. That's how we write the 1/2. Or if you had a slice of bread and you wanted to share it with 2 people, cut it in half. 1/2 of a slice of bread. And if you put those 2 halves together, boop, 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 boom, you get a whole slice of bread. Yeah. 2 halves equal a whole. What about half of a cantaloupe? You can do that. You can cut the cantaloupe into 2 equal halves, and then you can get some random fruit in there, like half of an orange. What about the half moon? Now that's something you already see sometimes when you go outside. There's the whole, or full moon I should say, and there's the half moon. Actually, I don't think the whole moon is a real name. I think it's just called the full moon, half moon, full moon, the half moon. This is a part of the lunar cycle. Now, you could share a banana with 2 people by cutting it in half. Here's a whole banana, and you could share it with 2 people by cutting it down the middle. Yeah, to get a half, 2 halves, make a whole. What about a single cookie? Can you cut it into 2 equal pieces? You bet, the half, 1/2, 1/2 of a cookie. You put those 2 halves together, you get a whole cookie. 1/2 of a cookie or a whole cookie, you decide. What about half of a grapefruit? Yep, you can squeeze it and make fresh squeezed grapefruit juice. Half of a grapefruit. Now what about a waffle? Let's suppose you got 2 hungry sons and they both want a waffle, but you're down to the final waffle. Cut it in half. Each son gets 1/2 of a waffle. It could be 2 kids, 2 daughters. If you have a waffle, you gotta share it. Sometimes that happens with a pizza. You might have a whole pizza, but your kids can eat a lot, so you cut it in half. 1/2 of a pizza. Now, you put the 2 halves together again, and you get a whole pizza. Yeah. What about half of a burger? You could put the 2 halves together, of course. 1/2 here, 1/2 there, and bada boom, bada bing, Bob's your uncle, you get a whole hamburger. That's what happens when you put the 2 halves together. And hopefully it's got cheese on it. Yep, looks like it. Now, if you have strawberries, you can cut them down the middle, and you can talk about half of a strawberry. There is no limit to halves.
Got a pizza, I wanna share it with my friends. A quarter's too small for me and you wanna figure out what we can do. Got a pizza with extra cheese, anchovies. Ooh. I've got a pizza, I wanna share it with my friends. Cut it in 2 for me and you, but a half won't do. Got a pizza with pepperoni, ham and pineapple, yummy. I've got a pizza, I wanna share it with my friends. Cut it in 3rds for me and you, that's what we will do.
the world? What is he doing here? All right, ignore that. We have one cat. One gato, that's an odd number. Now if you have two animals, like two dogs, that is an even number. Never mind dogs, never mind cats. 2 is an even number. Likewise, 3 is an odd number. 3 donuts. 1 and 3 are odd numbers. What does it mean to be even and odd? We'll talk about it. Don't go away. Look at this car, it's got 4 wheels. It is an even number. 4, that is. 4 is an even number, but 5. Look at this, you got 5 kids here. The 5 is an odd number, just like 1 and 3 before it. What about 6? 6 is an even number, just like 2 and 4 before it. 6 ducks. Now, bananas? What is going on here? 7 bananas. Okay, well 7 is an odd number, and it's bananas, so that's doubly odd? No, that doesn't make sense. Let's talk about cows. 8 is an even number. If you have 8 cows, 8 bananas, it doesn't matter. 8 is an even number like 2, 4, and 6. 9 is an odd number. Here we have 9 geese, and they're super hungry, but that's irrelevant. 9 is an odd number like 1, 3, 5, and 7, and 10 is an even number. 10 goats. Just like 2, 4, 6, and 8. Now it's definition time. Haha. If you have a counting number that ends in 0, 2, 4, 6, or 8, it's an even number. But if you have a counting number that ends in 1, 3, 5, 7, or 9, then it's an odd number. Yeah. So, you decide, is 24 even or odd? That's right. It ends in 4, so it is even. Pause, rewind if you need to. These are coming fast. 35, is it even or odd? You bet. It ends in 5, so it's an odd number. Again, pause or rewind if you need to. 100, is that an even or an odd number? It ends in 0. That's why it's an even number. Okay, now you tell me, is 77 even or odd? Yeah, it ends in 7, so it's odd.
This episode is brought to you by snacks. Don't leave home without them.
1, 3, 5, 7, 9, 11, 13, 15, 17, 19. Odd numbers on the line. Odd numbers are odd all the time. Hey, 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, yeah. 12, 14, 16, 18, 20. Even and odds, parity. Making life easy, yes you see. Here we go. 2, 4, 6, 8, and 10. Hey, those are the evens, my friends. Woo! 1, 3, 5, 7, 9. Yeah, odd numbers are odd all the time. Yeah, let's do it again. 2, 4, 6, 8, and 10. Those are the evens, my friends. Hey, 1, 3, 5, 7, 9. Odd numbers, odd all the time.
If you have learned something, don't subscribe. We don't need any more subscribers. Oh! But don't go anywhere. We have more for you. And there's even a bonus content section if you're part of the Greater Gators class. Thanks for watching. May the Almighty bless you with even more and more math knowledge. We'll see you next time.
We've got a few more examples for you. Is this even or odd? It ends in 3, so it's an odd number. Goodbye, penguin. Whoa, look at those stars. Is 51 an even or an odd number? It ends in 1, so it is an odd number. As always, stop or rewind if you need to. This number ends in 2. Is it even or odd? It's even because it ends in the 2. 52 pizzas. What about -1? Well, it ends in 1, so don't get scared. It's an odd number. Yeah.
Keenumbers.
Welcome to 8 octopus legs. Arms, you decide. 8 hot dog buns in a pack of hot dog buns. What about 8 sides on a stop sign? That's pretty standard. 8 legs on a spider.
Keenumbers.
We're gonna cover the 8 times table. We're counting by 8s. For those of you who don't like the 8 times table. 8, 1 block. What if you have 2 of these blocks? Each block has 8 dots. Boom, that's 16. We're counting by 8s. If you have 3 of these blocks and each block has 8 dots, that's 24. Yeah, that's so true. You gotta circle it. Now, if you have 4 of these blocks and you wanna count 8 4s, that's 32. Or 4 8s, same thing. 5 8s, green beans? No, 5 8s is 40. Yeah, and if you have 6 8s, that's 48. Stand by, we have a word from our sponsor. Oh no, it's the Greater Gator. I guess he's sponsoring this episode too. 7 8s is 56. We're gonna continue counting by 8. If you have 8 of these blocks and each block has 8 dots, that's 64. But what if you had one more 8? If you have 9 of these 8s, wow, that's 72. A word from our sponsor.
This episode is brought to you by snacks. Don't leave home without them.
That's right, kids, don't leave home without snacks. All right, if you have 10 of these blocks and each block has 8 dots, 10 8s, that's 80. What if you add one more? Now that you have 11 of these blocks, can you guess how many dots you have total? You have 88, that's right. 8 by 11 is 88. If you have 12 8s, we have one more. Yep, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. That's 96.
8, 16, 24, and 32 spider legs. 8, 16, 24, and 32 stinky shoes. 8, 16, 24, and 32 pickle jars. 8, 16, 24, and 32. 8, 16, 24, 32, 40, 48, 56, 64, 72, 80, 88, 96. Yeah. 8, 16, 24, and 32 spider legs. 8, 16, 24, and 32 stinky shoes. 8, 16, 24, and 32 pickle jars. 8, 16, 24, and 32. 104, 112, 120, 128. 136, 144, 152, 160. 168, 176, 184, 192, 200. Oh snap. 8, 16, 24, and 32 spider legs. 8, 16, 24, and 32 stinky shoes. 8, 16, 24, and 32 pickle jars. 8, 16, 24, and 32. Yeah.
Whoa! I'm so glad you stuck around, but don't go away. We've got one more segment for you, and if you're a part of the Greater Gators class, there's additional bonus content. Ask your mom, dad, or guardian how to get involved. There's a link below. See you next time. God bless.
It's time for an instant review.
Keenumbers.
9 innings in a game of baseball. 9 months until baby. 9 Supreme Court justices. 9 squares in a game of tic-tac-toe. We're gonna count by 9s.
Keenumbers. Numbers.
Like swimming or driving a manual, this is a very important life skill. If you have one set of 9, that's 9. Alright, let's make it harder. If you have 2 sets of 9, which we can do with 2 blocks and 2 dots to get our 9 dots, 2 sets thereof, that's 18. But if you have 3 of these sets of 9, that's 27. Yeah. Now, let's up the ante. If you have 4 sets of 9, that's 36. But if you have 5 sets of 9, you're gonna get 45. Banana, get out of here. What happens if you have 6 sets of 9? Well, then you're gonna get 54. Keep going. If you have 7 sets of 9, that is 63. And Raider Gator, what's he doing here? If you have 8 sets of 9, that's 72. And if you have 9 sets of 9, bada bing, bada bam, that's 81. A word from our sponsor.
This episode is brought to you by Snacks! Don't leave home without them.
Alright, if you have 10 sets of 9, yeah, that's 90. Oh, let's not quit. If you have 11 sets of 9, you're looking at good old 99. But if you have 12 sets of 9, that's 108. That's great.
9, 18, 27, 36. 9, 18, 27, 36. 9, 18, 27, 36. 9, 18, 27, 36. 9, 18, 27, 36. 45, 54, 63, 72. 81, 90, 99. 108. That's great. 9, 18, 27, 36. Yeah. 9, 18, 27, 36. Woohoo. 9, 18, 27, 36. Hot dog buns? No, that was 8. 9, 18, 27, 36. 117, 126, 135, 144. 153, 162, 171, 180. 189, 198, 207, 216, 225. Oh my. 9, 17, nope, that ain't right, try to get 9, 18, 27, 36, 9, 18, 27, 36, 9, 18, 27, 36. Should we do it again? Yeah, let's do it again. 9, 18, 27, 36. Let's some more gusto. 9, 18, 27, 36. How about faster? 9, 18, 27, 36 and slower. 9, 18, 27, 36 with bonus baby vocals.
Whoa! I'm so glad you stuck around, but don't go away. We've got one more segment for you, and if you're a part of the Greater Gators class, there's additional bonus content. Ask your mom, dad, or guardian how to get involved. There's a link below. See you next time. God bless.
It's time for an instant review.
Keenumbers.
1E158, 1 followed by 158 zeros, 1E59, 1 followed by 159 zeros, 1E160, so that's 1 followed by 160 zeros, 1E61.
Colonel Scotty
Captain
has
Alfred.
lost the front line.
Terrible news, absolutely terrible news. Bring out the reserves.
Sir, we lost our reserves too. The number with 160 zeros was simply too big.
Rubbish, bring out Mr. Bananas.
Is the calculator okay? Are bananas still yellow? Find out in the bonus section. Bonus section. Bonus section.
Keenumbers.
Keenum, was ist? What is 10 to the 6th power? 10 times 10 times 10 times 10 times 10 times 10. It's all multiplied together.
And 10 times 10 is 100.
10 times 100, that's 10 100ths or 1,000.
So,
10 times 10 times 10 times 10 times 10 times 10, 10 to the 6th, that's 1 million.
what is this then?
Ha, a big number.
1 quintillion, 18 zeros. That's a lot of stinking zeros.
Well, the E means we're using scientific notation.
5, 4, 3, 2.
Scientific notation. Scientific notation is a system where we take a really large number and make it small enough that we can see it on our calculator or our piece of paper.
Ja! Gut. And what is 1.5e10?
Well, 1.5e10 means you're going to move the decimal over 10 places to the right because you're multiplying by a number that has 10 zeros in it.
Ach, zu hart. What is 2.55e18?
2.55 times 10 to the 18th power, so effectively you're moving the decimal over 18 places. So 255 followed by 16 zeros. Whoa. This episode is brought to you by snacks. Don't leave home without them.
Ja, sehr gut. 1e100.
1e100, so that's 1 times 10 to the 100th power, so 10 to the 100th power, that's 1 followed by 100 zeros. That's a Google.
On Google, 100 zeros. Not a search engine, don't you know?
Wunderbar.
I've got one for you. What's negative 5e12? Now, again, that's negative 5 times 10 to the 12th power.
Wait. Let them figure it out.
That's a good idea. Go ahead and pause, and you figure it out. We'll be here when you're done. One E157. Again, that's 1 times 10 to the 157th power. So it's basically just saying 1 followed by 157 zeros. 1E158. 1 followed by 158 zeros. 1E59. 1 followed by 159 zeros. 1E160. So that's 1 followed by 160 zeros. 1E61. What happened to martial arts Neil? Is the calculator okay? Are bananas still yellow? Find out in the bonus section. Bonus section. Bonus section.
Keenumbers.
There's got to be an easy way to do this. There is, and I'm going to show you how to do it in less than 5 minutes.
Keenumbers.
All right, the long way would say, okay, 0 times 0, that's just 0. And then you would do 0 times, yeah, it's just 0. And then you'd have 1, so 2, 3, 8, and you would add it all together, and you'd get 83,200. That's the long way to do it. But now that we've got the long way out of the way, let's do it the fun way. 972 times 1,000. So you're just talking about 972 thousands. Whoop. That's it. Just put those 3 zeros right there. That's the fun way to do it because you're just talking about a lot of thousands being added together. In fact, you have 972 of them. So that's why you get 972,000. It's built into the name. Whoa.
Let's do this the easy way.
How many zeros do you see here? 4. So you're gonna tack on 4 zeros here because you're talking about 532 copies of 10,000. Well, my friends, you're in business. Put your comma every third digit and you'll get 5,320,000 as your answer. You'll notice that we have 4 zeros here. That's the shortcut. Add the zeros to the end of your number when you're multiplying by a power of 10. Bada boom, bada bang.
Oh snap, here comes Mr. Bananas. Thanks, Mr. Bananas. Adios. Let's do another problem.
Let's do 6,312 times 100,000. Whoa, don't get scared. Okay, the shortcut tells us we've got 5 zeros here. So we're gonna tack those zeros on. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Don't forget your comma to separate every third digit. And then you're gonna go over here and tack on the 6, 3, 1, 2. Put a comma every third digit, and your final answer is a Christmas tree. You have 631,200,000. That's the answer when you multiply these two turkeys. Gobble, gobble, gobble. And just remember, you can remember that you can remember when you multiply, go right. D for division, go left. D comes before M in the alphabet, so you're gonna go left with division because you're making smaller numbers when you divide positive numbers, and you're making bigger numbers when you multiply positive numbers, so go right. In other words, move that decimal over to the right. We took this decimal over how many places? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Well, the number we were multiplying by, 100,000, it had 5 zeros in it. Oh. And that's where you can see we get the 631,200,000.
Yeah! We only overspent by $3 trillion this year. Yeah, I'm gonna take care of that. I'm just gonna move the decimal over 3 places after dividing by 1,000. Problem solved.
Now, if you have a negative number, don't get scared. It's still the same concept here. Let's multiply this turkey by 1,000. Never mind that that's a negative. It's basically just -1 times 321. You're still gonna add these 3 zeros here. Look at that. You got 3 zeros, so you're gonna tack them on to the end. Don't forget your comma to separate every third digit, and you're gonna have another Christmas tree. 321,000. See what we did there? We took the 321 and we moved over 1, 2, 3. Because we had 3 zeros in the 1,000. But are we done? No! We gotta put that negative sign there. Now I feel like John Madden. Negative 321,000.
Keenumbers.
We're in the bonus section. Let's do 323 times.
There's got to be an easy way to do this. There is, and I'm gonna show you how to do it in less than 5 minutes.
Keenumbers.
10 goes into 97. How many times? 9 times. So you're gonna have a difference of what's really 70 because you have this remainder of 1. Now, how many 10s are in 70? Well, that's 7. Okay, we're making progress here. Yeah, making progress. Then you got a remainder of 1. Okay, so 97 with a remainder of 1, also known as 97.1. Almost like the decimal suspiciously moved over. 97. You divide by 10, you take that decimal there, put it right there to get 9.7. Now that we've got the long way out of the way, let's do it the fun way. 812 is equal to 800 plus 10 plus 2. It's in the name, 812. 810 and 2. Okay, so where does that lead us? I'm glad you asked. That's 80 tens plus 1 10 plus a good old whopping 2. So when you divide 812 by 10, ooh, now it's really obvious what you gotta do. You bring your arrow down here so that you know where the work continues. 80, because you're dividing by 10. 80 tens, oh, you're dividing by 10. You can review division, dividing a number by itself. You can review decimals in the videos linked below. How many tens here? You have 1. And you got a remainder of 2 that you're dividing by 10, so it's really 2 tenths. In other words, this is 81 and 2 tenths. Well, 2 tenths is also known as 0.2. That way was fun, but it was too long. And you might need to review division or decimals, linked below. Let's look at the shortcut. If you're dividing a number by 10, that's got 1 0. So you're just gonna move the decimal place over 1 place. It's a positive number. So you go over 1 place. And you get 74.7. That's the same thing as, for those who want to know, 74 and 7 tenths. 74 and 7 tenths is also known as 74.7. That's the shortcut. When you divide a positive number by 10, well, you're just gonna move the decimal over 1 place.
Oh snap, here comes Mr. Bananas.
If you need an easy chart to remember this, look at the alphabet and a number line. You can see here, D comes before M. So we're gonna go left with division, because when you divide positive numbers by powers of 10, like 10, 100, 1000, your numbers get smaller. But when you multiply a positive number by powers of 10, your numbers get bigger. So you're gonna go right. D before M, go left if you're dividing. If you're multiplying, go right. Okay, the shortcut says you've got 2 zeros here. So I'm gonna put those zeros in green to illustrate that you're gonna move the decimal place over. How many places? 2 places, because you got 2 zeros. So you got 1, 2, 3, 4. Move the decimal place over to the left 2 spaces. In other words, this is 12.34. And for those who like dollars and cents, you'll recognize this as 12 and 34 out of 100.
Thanks, Mr. Bananas. Adios. Let's do another problem.
Okay, now we gotta give you something really scary.
Negative 15,700.
No, let's do 974. And let's divide this turkey, gobble gobble, by 100. Don't worry about that negative sign. We're gonna bring that down here. We'll deal with him later. Now, you have 2 zeros here, so you're gonna move the decimal over 2 places. That's all you're gonna do. So this is negative 15 with a 9, so that's negative 159.74. That's it. Case closed. You're done, Inspector Gadget. You divide by 100. You move the decimal over to the left by 2 places because there are 2 zeros here. That's the shortcut, and it makes life wonderful.
We only overspent by $3 trillion this year. Yeah, I'm gonna take care of that. I'm just gonna move the decimal over 3 places after dividing by 1,000. Problem solved.
Keenumbers.
You got 532 divided by 1,000. So check that out. How many zeros there? 3.
I've got 5 friends here and 500 pieces to build each of them a home. Perfect. Everyone gets 100 pieces. But what if we have 10 friends? That's okay. 50 each. And if I have 11 friends, not everyone will get the same amount. Why not? Let's find out. A number that ends in 0 or 5 can be divided by 5 with no remainder, and vice versa. A number that ends in 0 can be divided by 10 with no remainder, and vice versa.
35. It ends in 5, so you can divide it by 5. In fact, this guy is a whopping 5 times 7. There are 5 sevens inside 35. See, the key there, again, is that the number ends in 5. So you bet that one is divisible by 5. 40 ends in 0. Oh, we don't need that question mark. We can say confidently that this is going to be divisible not only by 10, because it ends in 0, but also it's going to be divisible by 5. If it ends in 0, you're good to go. All right, 40 is 10 by 4. There are 4 tens in 40. It's built into the name. 4 tens. And then how many 5s? How many 5s? Oh, that's easy. 8 5s. So yes, this guy is divisible by 10 and 5. Woohoo!
This episode is brought to you by Snacks. Don't leave home without them.
55?
Hey, you're in business. This turkey ends in 5. So you can write it as... Whoa, there's a timer. That means I better hurry. You can write it as the product of 5 and... How many 5s are in 55? 11 5s are in 55. That guy is divisible by 5. Yeah! Thumbs up. Woohoo!
We have 55 heavy tanks just outside the city.
I should like to section them into groups of 5.
And we have 95 soldiers over here from the west.
I should like to section them into groups of 10. Yes.
Colonel Scotty, we can't divide that evenly.
Silence! I shall like squads of 10. Now make it happen, Captain Alfred.
What about 150?
Well, you're in business because, boom, that guy ends in 0, so it's divisible by 5 or 10. Move along. 71? Nope. It ends in 1, so it's not nicely divisible by 5 or 10. You would have a remainder. Hey, first person to figure out what the remainder is when you divide by 5 or 10 gets a bonus. Hey, if you haven't already, subscribe to this channel for more Zany Math videos. And if you want additional content, you can find the link below to buy us a coffee or join the Greater Gators class. But what about 112? Oh snap, here comes Mr. Bananas.
All right, Mr. Bananas, what about 1,550? Wow, Mr. Bananas, you're really good. What about 1,234,567,890? Wow, he sure is fast with that calculator. Adios, Mr. Bananas.
So 11 friends can't get the same number of pieces because 11 does not evenly divide 500. But any numbers that ends in 5 or 0 can be divided by 5. And 690 pieces can be shared with 10 friends because it ends in 0. Woohoo!
Keenumbers.
What about -35? Thanks for being a part of the bonus section, by the way. The Greater Gators class. That.
Okay. If it ends in 0, you can divide by 5. If it ends in 0, you can divide by 10. If it ends in 5, you can divide by 5 by 5. If it ends in 0, you can divide by 5 or 10. If it ends in 0, you can divide by 5 or 10. If it ends in 5, you can divide by 5. If it ends in 0, you can divide by 5. If it ends in 0, you can divide by 10. If it ends in 5, you can divide by 5 by 5. If it ends in 0, you can divide by 5 or 10. What is going on here? We're supposed to be doing a math song. Oh yeah, math song, I got you. No, that is so disgusting. We're supposed to be talking about divisibility rules here. Oh yeah, divisibility rules, I got you. No, not burps, not poops, and not barfs. We're talking about divisibility rules. Oh yeah, I got you, divisibility rules. No, not cats meowing. Divisibility rules. Oh my word. Come on here. Don't worry, I'll get rid of all that. I'll flush it all away. Flush, 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 flush. No, not a toilet. Oh, that's disgusting. Oh my word. Can you please do the math song? Yeah, I got you. Yeah. No, what is going on here? What was that? That was a legendary dragon. Oh my word. You're done. We're gonna lose subscribers here. Subscribers! Click that big red button to subscribe. All right, that's it. Get out of here. I'm finishing the math song. If it ends in 0, you can divide. If it ends in 5, you can divide by. That's it. We're done. That's it.